Monday, January 20th edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Martin Luther King Jr. holiday today, and boy, you could not draw the weather up much better than what we're going to have out there today. Cutting the video a little later than normal this morning, so the sun is out. This is 7:30 or so this morning in Banner Elk. These cameras from resortcams.com, or this camera from resortcams.com, and a little leftover snow on some of the protected areas up there in Banner Elk, temperature 29. On the other side of the state, let's check the AVALON PIER web camera. Sun out over a very smooth Atlantic Ocean this morning. Temperature there 40. Very quiet start to the day across the region. Yesterday, we had a lot of low to mid 50s once you got outside of the mountains. And it's going to be even warmer today. Now it's chilly as I'm cutting this video. Temperatures in the 20s and 30s, even 50 in Cape Hatteras, 42 in Wilmington. Some 20s involved in many Piedmont and foothill spots there, especially up around the Triad. And the radar very, very quiet. And that's the case all across the southeastern part of the country as well. No big weather problems to speak of anywhere close by. Now let's take a peek at the overall setup today. And it is a very quiet one, very little in the way of any cloud cover today. Let me flip over to FUTURECAST and show you again. It is a great holiday Monday forecast, highs in the upper 50s to lower 60s. In many spots. Now tomorrow, along that cold front, we'll see a little area of low pressure spin up, and that is going to spread some precipitation in. For the Piedmont, initially a few rain showers, but then maybe some light snow or snow showers, especially I-40 and points north as that system zips on through, and then frigid air takes over. I think the RPM FUTURECAST model here doing a pretty good job with the footprint of snow with this system. A couple things to point out. Certainly the heaviest footprint of snow overall in the Virginias back toward the mountains. However, notice this little strip here in northeastern North Carolina of some heavier totals. I think that could very well occur. Now as you look across a lot of the Piedmont zones, it just does not look like enough precipitation to be anything real significant. Sure, maybe some spots are getting a dusting, maybe an inch at most, but it looks like for the most of the Piedmont, when I'm talking Piedmont, I'm talking about the Triad and the Charlotte zones. Pretty light stuff, if at all. Now Raleigh and points north and east from there could get a little bit more interesting with the snow totals. And then the cold air really floods in here behind this system. A lot of us in the 20s for high temperatures Wednesday afternoon, at best around freezing in the southern parts of the Piedmont. And look at these wind chill values. Around daybreak Wednesday, a lot of single-digit wind chill values. Mountains 10 to 20 degrees below zero in the wind chill department. This is another very big blast of cold air heading on in. More on all that in just a second. There's the Cataloochee Ski Resort web camera this morning. It looks great. Temperature there near Maggie Valley, 38 degrees, and just some pristine ski conditions at all the resorts across the region. Fantastic. And it's going to stay that way through the week with lots and lots of cold air on the way. All right, let me spend a little bit more time here with our little system tomorrow. This is what it looks like on the Canadian model as that system pulls through. You notice the heaviest snow up into the Virginias. But, again, especially down to around I-40, could see some minor snow accumulations around the Triad. Maybe even a dusting around Charlotte, but it looks like a lot of the energy and the snow production with this will be up into the Virginias and back into the mountains. Now, let's talk about late week. The Canadian kind of on an island here, but it brings a nice winter storm to the southeast Thursday night into Friday morning. Here's some of the specific charts with that. Watch this. This is a band of pretty heavy snow, northern Louisiana into much of the northern half of Mississippi. As you get into Thursday late in the day and Thursday night, spreading through Alabama, Georgia, and Tennessee. As you get deeper into Thursday night, and here it comes into the Carolinas, upstate, much of North Carolina, see some snow with this, and eventually this works its way even right over to the coast and the Outer Banks before the snow comes to an end. As mentioned, the Canadian kind of on an island in that scenario. That is what the Canadian looks like up at 500 millibars Thursday night. Let's compare that to what the European looks like. All right, some subtle differences, but enough there on the Canadian that instead of like this solution of the European, you get enough of the digging of the short wave to spin up some precipitation and a good amount of it Thursday night and Friday morning. But again, on the European model, it is a far different scenario. There you go. Cold and dry Friday morning. GFS, cold and dry Friday morning. So the Canadian kind of on its own there with that scenario. Is it a possibility? Yes. Is the Canadian solution likely to occur? No. But it is a possibility. It just kind of depends on the amplification of these individual little short waves, and we'll keep an eye on it. One last thing for tomorrow. Here's the regular NAM model. This was tomorrow afternoon, transitioning into late afternoon and evening. And you can notice a little area of enhanced snow production there in northeastern North Carolina up into Virginia. And so that'll be something, again, to keep an eye on for tomorrow. All right, that is it for today's edition of the video. Have a great Martin Luther King Jr. holiday, and God bless.